Hey, Elevens, Queen Kuli, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time, welcome. If you've been with me for a while, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I am Queen Kuli. I am lots of things, an empath, a light worker. And I don't like really labels, right? Because who wants to be a label? But I'm an activator. That's what I am. That's what they tell me in the realm. So I'm here to help you find out what your gifts are, find out what your soul purpose is, bring you into alignment so that you can have the life that you really, truly want. It may not be the one that you're living right now, which is why I'm here to help you move forward. And I connect with the realms and speak with a lot of beings up there. I'm very lucky to do what I do, and it's all to help you guys. And I'm also an animal communicator, so I speak with animals as well. And I speak with beings that are here or those that have passed on, animals as well. And it's all to help us move forward. And today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about I wasn't sure to title this Choose You or Choose Love. I'm not sure which it's going to be. But I wanted to talk with you because there's a lot that's going on in the world right now. A lot, right? Stuff that's really, really scary. I was talking with a friend, and there's so much going on that it can be overwhelming. And a lot of what's happening in the world, we can't control. The only thing we can control is ourselves. But yet, the war, the stuff that we see, the stuff that's coming towards us, if you live in the States, really anywhere. I mean, there's just a lot of information out there. Nobody knows what's going to happen. People are worried about their income. People are worried about where they're living. People are worried about the housing market falling. It's a lot. And if you look at it all the time, it can be overwhelming and depressing. And for those of us that are so sensitive, like the 11s are, we feel everything really deeply. It can, feel like you just want to stay in bed, or you just, you'll go crazy because what can we do about it? Well, the only thing that we can do about it is to be our best selves. And I know that might sound a little bit, pie in the sky or like, really, but honestly, that's really what it's about. It's about us being our best. And, I was saying to a client today, I can't remember where I heard this, but I had heard this story once about a boy on a beach, and on the beach, there were a lot of, jellyfish that were coming up, and they die obviously on the beach, and the boy was trying to throw the jellyfish back in so that they would live. And a man came up to the boy and was like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm trying to save some jellyfish. And he's like, that's not going to do anything. You're not going to be able to save them all, if any. So it doesn't really matter what you're doing. And the boy threw one in, and he goes, well, it mattered to that one. That's kind of what I always think of. That story never left me because I always thought, yeah, totally. That's what it's about. It's about doing the right thing. It's about choosing love. And it's about moving to a higher calling. And I wanted to make this personal, not just talk about pie in the sky stuff or stuff that's far away, that's not touching us. So many of you over the last year that I've spoken with, and myself included, have gone through this metamorphosis of, let's just say, pretend that you're a coach. Maybe you're a coach or you're a teacher or whatever you do. And you, let's just say, had either, clients or followers or whatever. And then all of a sudden it's cyclical, right? They all started at a certain time. And then a lot of times they stop at a certain time. And sometimes it can feel like they all stop at the same time or around the same time. And then you start thinking, oh my gosh, I got to start all over again. And that's the hardest part of this type of a business. Whether you're an artist or, no matter what you do, this is, in a lot of businesses, this occurs. But what happens is the energetic thread of this is that you're being asked to move to a higher level, to ascend to your next level. And what's happening is that you're letting go of those that you might not be in alignment with anymore. They're not in alignment with you anymore. And it's not all of them, because sometimes people stop and then they come back. I like to stay in touch with my clients, but for some of them, that could be the case. So I wanted to encourage you, if you have lost clients or you have found that maybe you're not resonating the way you were with certain people, that's okay, because what's happening is you're supposed to be moving up to your next level. And the way that that happens is that maybe some of those people, even friends, it can just be friends. All of a sudden, it's like, how, let's just say, for example, you're watching tarot or something. I used to watch a lot of oracle card readings or whatever, and I had my favorites. This was like a few years ago. And I swear to God, there would be people on there that I'd listen to and I'd be writing everything down. I would actually write down what they were saying. Like, oh my gosh, this is so me. Oh my gosh. And then as I evolved, literally I'd go back. And even now, this happened this year, and this was even actually with influencers or people that I watch, like certain shows that I watch, to say about fashion or whatever you're interested in. And all of a sudden, like, there was this one influencer that I watched for the last couple of years, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's amazing. I love her vibe. I love everything she does. And all of a sudden, the last 6 months, nothing. I watch her and I'm like, I don't get it. And I'm like, what's going on? I used to think this person was everything, amazing, right? Just like oracle readers that I was like, oh my gosh, they're so great. And then all of a sudden I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling it anymore. Like, what's happening to me? Or just an influencer, like, this person was so good, I love them. And all of a sudden I'm like, I don't feel it. I don't feel any connection. I've got nothing. I got nothing. And that's because you're changing. That's because you're evolving. And what was working for you before, it's not working for you anymore. When you evolve, when you move up to your next level, that just means that you're changing and you're evolving, increasing. And what used to work for you doesn't work for you any longer. Now, that's when the universe is saying, are you going to choose yourself, or are you going to go back? Because this is when you're asked to really go on a journey of what works for you, not what works from before. Because what worked before is not working. That means you've changed. And sometimes that's scary for us. And sometimes we can't identify it. So that's why I'm here to help you identify. There could be potentially friends, clients, business, influencers, whatever you're watching, whatever you're consuming, it's asking you to go to a higher level, because you may be spending time with people that don't really understand you. And you may be spending time watching things that doesn't really help you move forward. It's just stupid stuff. And that's okay. I mean, we can all have some dumb stuff like a TikTok or whatever. But if you're doing it a lot and there's this crisscross, right? What's really the point here, right? This is your life. We only have so much time. So, you're asked to go on a journey. There's people, places, and things. I'm just reading because I made some notes here. You're being asked to choose you, which is why, if you've been distanced from others or you feel distant from others, that could be why. And sometimes we don't understand that. We're like, I don't get it. Like, why isn't this person, why am I not resonating with them, or they're not resonating with me anymore? I used to think everything was great. And now it's not all of a sudden. But really, it's not all of a sudden. It's kind of been building for a little while. And what happens is that there's a physical representation of this. A lot of clients that I work with, because they're changing, because they're up-leveling, because they're choosing themselves, they're choosing a new reality and a higher reality for themselves, they're changing. And then there's a physical representation of that, which is they may change, or you may change the way you dress, the way your hair is, the way you look, whatever, your vibe, everything. That's how Queen Kuli came into play. That didn't come from me. That came from someone that I knew that was very dear to me. And it was like, it fit. And it's not like you abandon the old you, but this is the new you, right? And you keep on evolving. You don't just stay stagnant. The whole idea of being here is to evolve so that you can lead others through all the stuff that we go through, right? So instead of thinking that it's scary and that stuff that you're looking at doesn't resonate with you, people don't resonate with you, clients don't resonate, even places, you guys, you could go to a certain place for like a long time as a vacation spot or wherever, and all of a sudden you'll be like, this isn't doing it for me anymore. I'm done with this. I need something more. It's because you're growing and you grow out of things. It's just like when you're a kid and you grow out of your shoes or you grow out of your clothes. Now you're just energetically growing because you're accumulating so much knowledge. Think of the person that you were a year ago. We're almost into December, right? Think of the person you were in January. You're not the same person at all. And even 3 years ago, even five years ago, think about this. Just take 3 years ago. Where were you? What were you listening to? Who were your clients, or what were you doing? Were you on your path, or were you closer? Are you closer now to your higher self? Probably. Are you happier? Hopefully. Are you making more money? Hopefully, right? And if not, you've got some work to do on yourself. So it's all about you moving up and changing and accepting yourself, your higher self, because that's what it's about. And the higher self is all about love. I just wanted to share a big download that I received the other day. I was in bed, I was sleeping, and I got woken up by this download. Now that's pretty rare. That doesn't happen very often because usually I'm always out and I receive my downloads, when I'm out and about, and there was a full moon. It's amazing. I got in bed. I was actually asleep. It was like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I got up and I had all this stuff in my mind. So I got up and I went in my office and I started writing this down. And it's not long, but it's really profound. And I wanted to share it with you. So this was God speaking to me. And he said, this is what I saw. I saw a door, and the door is inside and within you, and only you can open the door. And I said, what's the door for? And he said, it's the door to love. This door cannot be opened until you do the one thing that you have never done. Love yourself. For if you and I are connected to God and all there is, you must vibrate with love for yourself. First, only then you will see the connectedness that is. That is why they have tried to stop you. They do this to all, but especially little girls. They teach us we are nothing and we are worthless without outer beauty, and they make us go against each other for it. They use outer beauty as a weapon, yet that is far from the thing known as truth. They do this to shut you off from your heart, because a closed heart is a small, ugly human who leads with pain and disconnectedness. And if you're a male, it doesn't matter. I still want to read this to you because I believe maybe it's not the beauty part, but they do this to all of us, meaning the dark ones when I say that. The door to love cannot be open until you do the one thing that you've never done, and that's love yourself. I don't know if any of you guys out there love yourselves, and if you do, you're amazing, and I want to be you. Because you know what? Especially for 11s, we have learned so much, so many of us from an early age, that we're not enough. And you know what? That's bullshit. We are gifted. We are awesome. And we are not cursed. We are gifted beings. And the people around us didn't know that, didn't understand it, and didn't know what to do with us. So they felt weird and they felt strange, and they said, stop what you're doing, so they could feel okay. And I'm talking about even parents. And I had great parents. I had a great upbringing. I was brought with a lot of love. I was brought in, I was loved, but they didn't always understand me. And when we shut ourselves down and off, and we learn how to be other people, it's not good. So it's time to take the mask off, which I did a long time ago, right? And just be yourself. And you're enough. And to do that, you have to understand and believe you're enough to choose you. And the reason I say this is because this download is so important. We have to begin to love ourselves, right? Because so many of us have given ourselves this self-talk that's terrible. I've said this many times, the stuff that I say to myself, I'd never say to another living being. Stop that stuff. Stop it. And start talking to yourself as if you're your best friend instead of your worst enemy. You can do it. You are amazing because you are. You're gifted. 11s are gifted. I mean, off the charts gifted. The only difference is that our gifts are on the inside versus like a singer, which is on the outside, or a baseball player on the outside. But guess what? Over time, people do start to see it. They can see it, right? And then it does come on the outside. People can see it. So open the door to self-love and move up. And whether people fall away from your life, others will come through. Things that you're watching, they don't make sense to you anymore. That's because you've moved past it. You'll find something else that does, that is a match for you. People, places, things, thoughts, right? It's really important that you don't abandon yourself because you're changing and growing, which is what you're supposed to do. It's important that you stay with yourself and say, yeah, I got this. I'm amazing. And so are you. All right. I hope this helped you guys. If you want to work with me, you can work with me one-on-one. You can work with me through the Brave Academy. And you can also join, there's still time to do the 30-day for December Find Your Light, which is going to be an amazing challenge. So that's all on, I'll leave the links below. But I am here to help you guys move forward and shine. Period. End of story. All right. Leave me a comment. Let me know if this helped. I'll talk to you soon.